Hey there, TikTakers! Today, we'll be exploring the world of murderers once more to talk about a case that became viral. We bet many of you have seen on TikTok a challenge that has to do with the behavior of a prisoner during her trial. We are talking about Isabella Guzman. Isabella Guzman was born on June 1995. She was the only child of Yoon Mi-hoy and Robert Guzman, both of them photographers. She lived in Aurora, Colorado, and according to her research, she was petulant and entitled from a very young age. Her personality worsened when she was just 5 years old, which is when her parents got divorced. And even though both share the same business, they each went live in different places. At first, Isabella stayed with her mother, and her father lived in an apartment which was pretty close. However, a few months after the divorce, Isabella's mother remade her life with Ryan Hoy, which made Isabella absolutely furious. She thought her mother had betrayed her, that she never loved her father, and that everything had been a lie. This resulted in the day-to-day life of Isabella and her mother Yoon becoming completely unbearable. They were always fighting, and the overall atmosphere was horrible. Thus, when Isabella was 7 years old, they decided that she would live with her father Robert for a while. Isabella behaved differently with her father, showing kindness and care. He tried to reason with Isabella, telling her that she couldn't treat her mother so badly and that she needed to respect her. After that time of living with her father, it seemed that things would get better. Isabella seemed to have calmed down, and they decided she would live with Yoon again. However, things changed for the worse, and Isabella's behavior got nastier over the years. She despised her mother's relationship with Ryan Hoy and kept thinking about the divorce. She complained about everything, and every day she would have fights with Yoon. Once Isabella was 14 years old, her parents decided she could start working a few hours with them in the business. That would be a good way for her to earn a bit of money as well as to spend more time with her father. However, Isabella wasn't keen on the idea and barely went to work. Isabella wasn't doing well in school either. While Yoon wanted Isabella to go to university and have a good future, Isabella did the opposite. She never studied and would frequently skip classes. Her life was kind of cyclical, filled with periods which were somewhat good, followed by periods of rudeness and rebelliousness. She left her studies in her teenage years since she didn't want to do anything. Everything got worse in August 27, 2013, when Isabella had the worst fight she had ever had with her mother. Isabella got really violent, so Yoon punished her by not giving her dinner. Yoon wanted to reason with her daughter, but Isabella took it terribly, and that very night she sent a threatening email to Yoon. Yoon read that email the next day and was shocked at what it said. She showed it to her husband Ryan, and he decided to call the police, but when the agents came to their house, they concluded that it wasn't necessary to arrest Isabella since she complied with them and promised to never do it again. Yoon then asked her ex-husband Robert to try to reason with Isabella since she wanted to find a way to finally calm down their daughter. Robert talked to Isabella and thought he had been successful. He really thought Isabella would finally change for the better. But that couldn't have been farther from the truth. That very night, when Ryan Hoy was in the kitchen, he heard a woman scream in the bathroom. The screams were horrifying, so he rushed to see what was happening, but couldn't get in since the bathroom was locked. He then called the police, and as he waited for them to arrive, the woman inside kept screaming and screaming. Then he suddenly heard the word Jehovah, and the door opened. Isabella came out of the bathroom completely covered in blood and holding a knife. Her gaze was lifeless, and she didn't even stop to look at her stepfather. In desperation, Ryan rushed in to aid Yoon, who had many wounds on her body. She was unrecognizable, with cuts and stabs all over her face and neck. In total, she had more than 150 wounds. Ryan tried to save her, but when the ambulance arrived, all they could do was certify her death. Isabella then fled from her house, so a large team of police officers was dispatched to look for her. They tried to track her down for many hours until Aurora's police department received a call on August 29, 2013, when they reported the presence of a body in a car. Many agents went there to inspect the zone and finally saw a young woman who fit the description. It was Isabella Guzman, who was immediately arrested. After a failed first attempt, her first trial took place on September 6 of the same year. That day is when the videos showing Isabella's erratic behavior were filmed, which would then become viral, especially on TikTok. In the videos, you can see the young woman displaying unstable behavior, making faces and wearing handcuffs. After seeing her behavior, the judge ordered a psychiatric analysis for her, which concluded that she suffered from paranoid schizophrenia. And after that, she was sent to a psychiatric center. Did you know anything about Isabella Guzman before this video, TikTakers? And have you ever seen the videos of her? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!